Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review a Megabloks Dragons set released in 2006 in the US and 2007 in Europe. It's going to be a set which was part of the Battlestorm subsim, so just after the Metal Ages subsim, and it's going to be the Battlefield Vehicles set. And first, you have to know that, as you can see, we're going to have two vehicles in this set, and these two vehicles were sold separately at first. So Megabloks decided to make a two-in-one set and release them together in one box, but you can also buy them, separately if you want. So that said, here's the box with, of course, the Megabloks Dragons logo, the two vehicles. As you can see, we're going to have some silver borders right there, but in fact, all the box is quite glossy, as you can see. It's really have a metallic feeling, which is quite cool and really eye-catching. You can also notice the bigger set of the Battlestorm subsim on the background, which is kind of blurry, of course. And well, apart from that, we have the mention that we're going to have two plasma crystals. So it's the new type of crystals in this subsim. And you can also see that here, you add the crystals, but behind this little transparent plastic, and in fact with the arrow you can turn around the crystal and you have some play feature with that, but we're going to see that in the review itself. So let's just turn the box. You can see we're going to have the two vehicles, their two respective driver or warriors, which sides they belong to or which armies, and the different play features, plus also the crystals that they got. Notice also the different sets from the Battlestorm subsim right there, and then you also got a little alternative model that you can build with the two sets together. And apart from that, I think that's quite all, except for the description. So the descriptions are quite mixed up, but well, I'm going to read it like that. So yes, a priori of Argentic sages modify captured plasma crystals to fuel their sophisticated battle vehicles in defiance of the dragon's supremacy of the skies. Because yes, one of the vehicles is going to be kind of like a plane, which is quite a premiere in the dragon's universe, and the second one is a little more traditional but still a little original. So Orios alchemists have learned how to harness the energy of the mystic plasma crystals and use them to power unstoppable battle vehicles. Well, here you go. You got the two descriptions, so time to move on to the instruction booklet. Booklet. So here we go. Parts list, the sets, finished. The descriptions, which with this time are not mixed up with the two warriors and their name also, which can be quite useful. Then you got of course the instructions, which are just clear. Another pick of play features, then alternative model, and then most of the sets from the subsim. Well, not most, some of the sets from the subsim. And so yes, this is this set that you can, by the way, see on the background of the front of the box. This big castle. And so let's move on to the sets. So like I said, you got two sets in one. So let's begin with the Orios vehicle, because yes, like I said, Battlestorm is a new subsim, and in fact it's a reboot of the Dragon's sim, because we're going to have two new armies which have absolutely nothing to do, nothing in common with the previous armies, like the Dragars, the Vorgan, and stuff like that. So we're going to have two new armies, which are called the Orios, which are gold and blue, and the Argentics, which are silver and red. And let's begin with the Orios. Would you? So, well, here's the fix. So, like I said, the armies are new, but the molds are not. So, for example, this mod is an old Dragar mod, so the hair, the body, and stuff like that. It's old, but it's of course it's the new recolor, the Orios recolor. And also, you have to notice one thing is that all these warriors, because I think of some cost reductions, Megabloks decided to just color the front of the warriors, and the back is dark gray. This means, this part, for example, here, it's just gold. The front is just gold, and the back is dark gray. So, a little kind of like the Smadin China toys, which have really detailed the front, and the rear section is just without any details and with just one colors. Well, it's quite the same here with the colors. In terms of articulations, for those who do not know this type of things, the neck, of course, got a rotation point. The same can be said for the shoulders. There is no articulations for the hands, unlike the Lego minifigs, and of course the legs also can be turned without any problems. Also, one thing to notice, unlike the previous Megabloks Dragons figures, these guys do not have any magnets in their body. Remember, all the warriors in the previous years got a magnet which worked with some play features. Here, it's not the case. I think it's also for cost reduction that they decided to put off the magnets. And well, that's all for these warriors. It doesn't come with any weapons for those who want to know, so no weapons at all with these warriors, which is quite disappointing, but well, you will see that they have the hand full to control their vehicle. Now let's go on to the plasma crystals, which looks like that. So as you can see, while the border is gold, is in a gold color, and we got a transparent part with, as you can see, a little liquid in there. And as you can see, we got an orange liquid, and if I put this thing like that, you can see we have some bubbles, and the orange liquid, just goes down. So this is this new type of play features, the plasma crystals. And here are the points of connections. And well, now it's time to move on to the vehicle itself, and first the frame, which is this big light gray parts, except these parts here and there, which are not linked to, which will be linked later on. They are not a part of this big mod. The same can be said for this dark gray part with the connection point right there, and also this light gray part here. That said, let's link some parts. So this one first. So even if we do not have any new mods for the warriors, in the Battlestorm subsim, we're going to have tons of new mods for walls and different elements and stuff like that. So it's quite cool. And first is this part, which will be linked like that. Excuse me. Like that. And now we're going to link this part. Notice the metallic effect on the blue color right there, which is quite cool because most of the Battlestorm's colors just are one color. There is no more paint effect unlike the previous Dragons here. So yeah, it's disappointing, but it's still cool to have this type of paint effect. Well, that is the other part, and these two parts which will be useful to attach the crystal. So let's say we're going to link this part like that. Now we're going to link the cannon, which is not really new. You already know this mold before, but of course it's some new colors. Then we're going to have the handles, which are linked to a chain, as you can see. And we're going to link the cannon on the 2 points of connection I mentioned earlier. I'm also going to link the warrior right now, put his arms like that in front of him, and link the handles right there. Excuse me, I'm just going to adjust this thing. Yeah, it's a little hard to move this thing, but yeah, here we go. So now it's time to keep on. So first we're going to link this part, and we can see that this new spears got 2 colors, which are quite cool. We're going to link this part like that. And now we just have really, not really that tons of parts to link. So first, this nice gold chromed shields with the Armies logo, which are really cool, so really nice parts. And they are linked thanks to this 2 points of connection that you already saw before on the crystal, for example. So let's just keep on. We're going to link this part right there. Here we go. So we're going, yes, to now attach the wheels, which looks, excuse me, yeah, which looks like that, as you can see. So they are not new. I think they were released before in the. They may have been released before in the some sub-sim, I think. I may be wrong on that, but you can see this new color, of course, with the blue, gold, and brown color for the wood. Notice this wheel also, which comes with some little new parts, which are some kind of spikes. I don't really know. They will be put on the front. And now we just have 2 parts to attach. The first is the crystal that we're going to link right now. And the last one, and one of the most important parts, which really gives the vehicle its unique design, is the battering ram right there, which is really nice. It's really heavy also, so as you can see, we have it's really full of details and really well crafted and designed in terms of molds. Excuse me. And as you can see, we got a connection point right there to put it in the cannon. So it's a nice idea to not just do one big part, but to make like it can be launched. So well, here we go. This vehicle is finished. I think it's called the Land Strider. Land Strider. So here we go. It'll turn around first. Then I will talk about the well, play features. So of course these things can roll like that. There is no problems at all. We can also put off or on the crystal, and of course you can just press this red button and fire the battering ram like that. But be careful, because this part on the front with the cannon and the bricks is quite weak in terms of design, because it tends to fall off. Okay, that was not. It tends to fall off sometimes, so be careful when you launch this thing. Be careful when you launch this thing. And well, that's all for the Land Strider. Now let's move on to the second vehicle, the Argentix ones, and first the figures. So this time we're going to have an old Vorgan minifig, but as you can see with some nice yellow skin, which is quite new, and of course the silver color scheme with the dark gray on the back. But this time it's look better, because of course silver and dark gray are some more well, they are, in terms of shades, they are closer than gold and dark gray. And well, here comes the crystal, so with a different border, this time in silver, and this time the liquid is blue. But it works the same, of course. And here goes the bubble. And once again, and well, that's how it works. So now let's begin with the vehicle. So it's quite new for the Dragons team, because previously we already had some vehicles with wheels, but it's the first time that we're going to have a flying vehicle, so kind of like a plane. So it's really cool. And first we're going to begin with this big plate, as you can see, with this big brick, which is a new model, as you can see, with some grid elements right there, and also they kind of designed it this way, so you can you have kind of like some fake bricks right there, which is quite nice. And first we're going to have the handles right there, which are made out of little parts. We're going also to have some fire torches on the sides, not really new, but some new recolor, I guess, for this part right there, this dark gray part. And also some parts on the back which will be useful later on. Notice first also the wheels, which are linked thanks to this part. I think they may be new, which is not the case of the wheel, by the way, of the wheels, excuse me, by the way, which were wheels before. So we're going to use this part, link it like that, and excuse me, here we go. So we have the front part done. Now it's time to move on to the rear section, and first this big part right there, which will come in handy later on, so you can see the numerous points of connection, and also the Argentix logo right there. We're going to link that like this. And we're going to link now the, if I correct, yes, the upper part. Oh yes, no, not the upper part, but first these little wings, as you can see, which are new parts, like that. Second one, and then this little wing, which is more like a fin, and it's also a new mod and has a new this new type of wing design, which really got some nice edges and stuff like that. So yeah, quite cool. And now it's time to link the upper section right there. Notice the hole, it will come in handy later on. I'm not going to put these little parts and attach them on the sides. Now I'm going to link this, well, this normal bricks, except for the wings, which of course are a new mod, and this time these are the parts which are in a chrome color. So unlike the shields for the first vehicle, here it's really some big wings and new wings, which can be put off, by the way, and can be linked on any dragon you want. So for example, you can put this part on a mid-sized dragon if you want to. So quite cool. And well, here you go. we're going to link that this way. So excuse me. Now I'm going first to link maybe the warrior in there, because I'm going to link some parts on top of, well, top of him. So let's link the warrior now. And well, we're going to link this part right there, which looks like that. And we're going to link them this way. So yes, you already know this part, by the way. They were already used on the first vehicle I've just built. So yeah, now it's time to link this part. So with also some parts you already know, which will be useful to link these 3 parts right there. And here we go. Now I just have to link some other parts. So first, the front part, which will be an eagle head, which is once again quite well designed, as you can see, very cool mold, some points of connection. It will be linked right there. I'm also going to link the crystal, by the way, which will be linked this way. And finally, I'm going to link these 3 little work parts, which are red. I'm going to put them in the rear section. And that said, we are done with this vehicle, guys. So I'm going to do a little turnarounds and play features, and then it will be the sum up of this review. And here we go. So in terms of play features, well, you can make the wing, well, the plane roll if you want. Of course, the wings got 2 points of rotation, so one like here and one there. Well, this one are a little loose, I have to admit, but this one are okay. No, you can do okay. That was not what I wanted to do. Well, maybe that's just my part, by the way. And the final play feature is this thing under the vehicles. You can see we got some oil right there, but the oil is quite well. You can't really make the work goes through the oil because it's blocked by this little piece of plastic. And so to prevent this, we just have to push the button, and now you can see we have a perfect oil. And if we're going to, and here we go. So you just have to press this thing, and it will goes down. So yes, of course mine is a little old, so it doesn't slide as good as it used to be, as it used to do, or as it used to slide, excuse me. And so yes, that's all for this set, guys, which is called, I guess, the Terra Diver. Yes, the Terra Diver. And so well, let's just put the 2 vehicles side by side. So the Land Strider first, and then the Terra Diver from the Argentics. The first one, of course, was for the Armies army. And so first, let's do a sum up. And first, the figures. So the figures are quite cool. Only drawback is, of course, the fact that they are only painted on the front. Well, on the front of the figure is only painted on the front. The back is dark gray, which is really not really good in terms of color scheme, I have to admit. I can understand the audition cost and stuff like that, but still it's a little weak. Also, the fact that they do not come with any weapons, so you can see there are a handful of the commands and the handles, but still maybe a little weapon would have been nice. So of course, maybe it would have looked like a spare part, but still. So you can still use, I guess, the spear if you want, but that's a little weak. So the figures are okay, some problems, but they're okay. Nice molds, of course not new molds, but nice recolors, I guess. And then you got the vehicles. So first, this one. So this one, in terms of drawbacks, the construction of the building is quite weak because we are just going to have mostly big parts. So for example, big wheels, a big frame, and stuff like that. So not really interesting in terms of construction, but the overall design is okay. I mean, the battering ram really looks beautiful. Plus, they decided to make it a play feature, which I found quite interesting because it's a nice idea to launch this thing. The shields, of course, looks beautiful, but you can still complain about first the lack of details on the inside, because they put these parts to cover the sides, but as you can see, there is absolutely nothing in there. So maybe a little problem in terms of empty spaces, and also last problem is that this vehicle got some weak points. For example, this part right there sometimes fall off. So you have to be cautious with this vehicle. So in terms of design, is okay. I found it pretty original and pretty cool. But in terms of construction and some other elements, it's a little weak. And then you have the tower diver, which really which doesn't really have these complaints, because first, even if the construction use big parts like the wings, these bricks, and the rear part, you have really the feeling to build more things with this vehicle. So maybe there's the same number of parts, I don't really know, but I really had the feeling to build more things with this vehicle. So it's a good point. Of course, the coloration of the two vehicles, by the way, is okay, it's quite cool. Even if there are no more paint effect, it still looks okay on these vehicles. And to be back on the tower diver, so like I said, while the construction is nice, the partition is great, because you have these two big chrome wings, the eagle head, the parts on the back with the fins. Seriously, it's all good. And then of course the design, which is which is well done, plus the fact that this vehicle is one of the only, if not, well, the only vehicle to be a flying vehicle, so like a plane in the Dragon's sim. So in fact, it's really unique, and it's pretty well done. So obviously, I can recommend you to buy these vehicles because they are quite cool, they are original. But maybe, well, this one have more complaints than this one, which I found more well finished, with less empty spaces and a more interesting construction and parts. But overall, these two vehicles are really nice, and if you want, you can buy them. Like I said, you can buy them individually, because they are also sold. They were also sold at first independently. So if you just want this one, well, you can find just this set. And that will be all, guys. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask them. Excuse me. I will happily answer them in the comments section of this video, of course. And that's all. So hope you enjoyed this video review, guys, and see you later for another video. Bye bye.